Chopper 2, your live eye in the sky, covering breaking news in Central Florida.
Take a look at these huge flames, all that billowing smoke.
They were responding to a deputy-involved shooting.
Capturing every moment to bring you closer to the action.
A bird's eye view from Chopper 2 of this new theme park.
Chopper 2 captured the blanket of smoke.
The biggest stories from every angle, so you never miss a moment. This is what local, live, late-breaking coverage looks like from Chopper 2, and it's only on WESH 2 News.
Police rushed to a home in Melbourne where they found someone who had been shot. What neighbors say they heard in the middle of the night.
Religious leaders will soon be allowed on public school campuses in Florida.
To exclude religious groups from campus, that is discrimination.
How the Satanic Temple is reacting to the bill signed today.
And there's one less juror for former President Trump's criminal trial. What she told the judge this morning, as dozens of other potential jurors are still getting screened.
WESH 2 News starts now with breaking news.
All right, that breaking news is out of Brevard County, where police are investigating a shooting that happened overnight.
Our Brevard Bureau Chief Scott Heidler live at the scene for us this afternoon. And Scott, police say this started as a home burglary.
It did. Melbourne police saying that one person was shot and they're expected to recover. They got the call for the shooting at 12:28 a.m. And the Melbourne police are saying that this is an open investigation, so anybody with any information is requested to contact them right away. Reporting live in Melbourne, Scott Heidler, WESH 2 News.
Also breaking at noon, moments ago, the Seminole County Sheriff's Office released the incident report on last week's deadly carjacking investigation. And there is that video there. It has multiple witnesses giving their accounts of what happened, and most explain how they initially thought it was some type of road rage incident. This was April 10th when a green Acura pulled up behind 31-year-old Catherine Aguas Vivas. A man got out armed with a gun and got her inside her car, and then they drove off. Well, a couple hours later, that car was found in Osceola County on fire with a body inside, believed to be Aguas Vivas. The suspects in that case still have not been found and may be connected to a deadly shooting that happened the day before. Now, we're still going through that report right now. We'll bring you any new updates as soon as we get the information. A missing child alert was just issued out of Highlands County, south of Polk. Take a look at this picture of 7-month-old Kenzie Edwards from Sebring. He was last seen wearing a green onesie. Officials believe he may be with Alexis Thomas, who was last seen wearing a tan shirt. We're told she has several tattoos on her left hand. If you have any information on where they may be or you recognize them, call 911.
Police in Brevard County have arrested a second person in the murder of a 39-year-old woman, Amber Estep. Her stepson, 18-year-old Lane Estep, pleaded not guilty to charges of arson, tampering with evidence, and accessory after the fact to capital felony. Investigators recovered Amber's body in January. Her husband, Lane's dad, Brian Estep, is charged with her murder. Hours after deputies questioned Brian, his pickup truck was on fire. You can see that in this video here. Court documents show Lane tried to blame the fire on a recall, but investigators didn't find any evidence of it.
Religious leaders will now be allowed to interact with students in Florida schools. The governor just signed a bill in Osceola County this morning to allow school districts to bring in chaplains.
WESH 2's Bob Hazen was at that bill signing, and Bob, the governor says school districts can decide what they want to do with these chaplains.
Yeah, that's right. The governor left here about an hour ago, and I asked him exactly how this chaplain program would work, and he said basically it would depend on where you live. And I did reach out to the Satanic Temple about the chaplain move here, and its co-founder sent me a statement saying, quote, "A governor is not at liberty to add or subtract from a law or alter the Constitution by fiat whenever convenient for the mere purposes of infantile culture war pandering." That school chaplain law will be going into effect on July 1st. Reporting live in Osceola County, Bob Hazen, WESH 2 News.
All right, right now we want to get you outside for a check of that forecast, that beautiful sky behind you there, Kellyanne.
Yeah, it's absolutely stunning out. A little bit warm now that we cracked into the 80s, but things are looking really good if you have any outdoor plans. Downtown Orlando with high pressure in place, there's really not a lot of cloud cover in the sky, and that means we're warming up. We're at 80 degrees right now in Orlando, Claremont, and in Leesburg. It's 81 degrees in Sanford and Daytona Beach, 79 degrees in New Smyrna Beach, and 78 degrees in Palm Bay. Now on our Muggy meter this afternoon, we're We're on the comfortable scale, so there is a little bit more humidity, but still it's not too bad outside. It's not the summertime humidity that we typically have. And most of us are clear. We're just seeing a couple of clouds develop off of a very weak sea breeze out in southern Brevard County, but that cloud is not covering the sunshine. So for the rest of the day ahead, we'll have bright, beautiful sunshine, temperatures warming up anywhere from the low 80s to the low 90s, and soon the middle 90s. We'll have more details coming up in a few minutes.
Well, new this afternoon, the Ocoee Police Department has a new chief lined up. The department announced Chief Vincent Ogburn Sr. will lead the department. He started his career in law enforcement with the Florida Highway Patrol in 1991 and served as deputy chief for the Orlando Police Department. He also served in the Navy. Ogburn was with the Ocoee Police Department since 2020.
Today, flags are flying at half-staff to honor former Florida Governor and U.S. Senator Bob Graham. Just yesterday, his hearse was escorted to a funeral home in Tallahassee. State troopers led the procession for the leader who spent decades serving in the Florida State House and on Capitol Hill in D.C. Graham died earlier this week at the age of 87. And police in Sunny Isles Beach are looking for this woman who was caught on video pushing over a menorah outside of a synagogue. So take a look at this. You can see her right there walking over to the menorah, attempting to push it over with one hand. And there it goes. She then drops her bag and uses both hands to push it off the sidewalk, and it toppled to the ground. Sunny Isles Beach police say the following day they found a message on a bus bench.
God hates all Jews was scribed on the side of the bus bench. It's unknown if she did it, but it's possible. And obviously, by doing those two events, you escalate a criminal mischief into a hate crime.
A report from the Anti-Defamation League shows Florida is one of the top states in the nation for reporting anti-Semitic activity. The state sits at number 4 with 463 reports last year. Today, jury selection resumes in the hush money trial against former President Donald Trump.
Yeah, one of the 7 jurors who was already selected has been dismissed after she told the judge that she's concerned about being fair and impartial. Juror number 2, an oncology nurse, had concerns about her identity becoming public. And now the judge is raising some concerns about juror number 4, questioning how truthfully that person answered questions before they got selected. Today, 48 prospective jurors were excused as the search for 6 more jurors and 6 alternates continues.
An impeachment showdown in the Senate. Democrats quickly dismissed charges against Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas for his handling of the migrant crisis at the southern border.
In the lower chamber, House Speaker Mike Johnson is facing an uphill battle trying to pass separate funding bills. NBC's Bree Jackson has a look at Johnson's efforts to get support from fellow Republicans. The man accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students told his attorneys what he was doing the night of their brutal deaths.
They say Brian Koberger was out for a late-night drive when the students were brutally stabbed to death. What the judge in this case has said about that excuse in the past.
And Prince William returns to work after his wife revealed her cancer diagnosis, how he is serving the community as Princess Kate and King Charles go through treatment.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Rubenstein Law. Injured? Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL.
You're watching WESH 2.
We're learning new details in the case against the man accused of murdering those 4 University of Idaho students that you see behind us.
Brian Koberger's legal team submitted an alibi to the court, saying in part that he was out driving alone the night of the murders. NBC's senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett reports it's an excuse the judge has been skeptical of in the past.
The Department of Justice is reportedly close to reaching a settlement with the gymnasts who were sexually assaulted by Larry Nassar. Sources say the final settlement amount is likely to be close to $100 million. The Justice Department determined that the FBI did not properly respond to reports of abuse from athletes, including from members of the U.S. women's gymnastics team, like Simone Biles, Allie Raceman, and Michaela Maroney. Nassar pleaded guilty to abusing 10 patients in 2017. He is serving what amounts to be a life sentence in prison.
Prince William is back to his public duties today for the first time since his wife's cancer diagnosis was announced to the world. The prince stepped away from public duties on March 22nd after Princess Kate revealed she was undergoing treatment for an unspecified type of cancer. Today, William visited a surplus food distribution charity where he is helping in the kitchen and loading meals into delivery vans. This time next week, NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams will be in Central Florida ahead of their Starliner crew flight test mission. The pair heading to the Kennedy Space Center to complete their flight readiness review. The Starliner launch set for May 6th at 10:34 p.m.
And more Starlink satellites are in orbit this afternoon after launching from our Space Coast. A Falcon 9 rocket carrying 23 satellites blasted off from Kennedy Space Center just before 5:30 yesterday evening. And if you missed that launch, there's another one happening tonight. A Falcon 9 rocket is going up. SpaceX is set to send up a batch of mini satellites for Starlink. The launch window at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station opens up at 6:40 tonight. So fingers crossed everything's gonna,
Yeah, whether you're launching rockets or just sitting on the beach.
Watching a rocket launch.
It's beautiful, right?
Yeah, I mean, you really can't complain. Like, these rocket launches are happening almost, well, this week, almost every day.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Each and every day. So if you miss one, you'll catch a great glimpse. Do know, though, that things are looking really good for that rocket launch. So we're looking at 90% favorable weather conditions, mainly due to thick clouds at 6:40 this evening. And right now, at 12:18, going on 12:19, we have bright, beautiful sunshine, just a few clouds. I don't think that clouds are going to be a big concern for any of the rocket launches going throughout the rest of the week because we have high pressure in place, and that's going to keep us dry, but also warm. Out the door right now, we're at 80 degrees in Orlando, 81 degrees in Sanford, it's 79 degrees in Kissimmee, 79 in New Smyrna Beach, and 83 degrees in the Villages. Later on today, with a very light south-southeast wind picking up at 5 miles per hour, we're going to warm up inland into the low 90s. It'll be our coastal locations. That'll be just slightly cooler, but still on the warmer side into the middle 80s. Now, when we compare a lot of these to our record highs, we're not looking at record heat for Orlando or Sanford. Those records are in the middle 90s, but Leesburg, you are set to tie your record high temperature of 90 degrees from 1990. Daytona Beach and Melbourne, nowhere near your records of the low 90s. Here's this big area of high pressure. As it's centered over Mexico and it strengthens, it's going to not only just heat us up, but also keep us dry, especially as it gets closer to Central Florida. So it strengthens, it moves towards our area, and look at how high we go for temperatures. 92 tomorrow, 94 on Saturday, and 93 degrees on Sunday. Keep in mind, our average high temperature is at 84 degrees. So on Saturday, we are going to be 10 degrees above our average high temperatures. And that will be the hottest air of the year. Right now, that's the 90 degrees all the way back from March 9th. Later on this weekend, we will have the mid-90s. And the hottest day so far in April was at 88 degrees. That was a couple of days in April as well. So get ready for a really hot stretch and a dry stretch. Plenty of sunshine this afternoon going into the evening hours, mostly clear conditions. It's a good beach day today. Just keep in mind we do have a moderate risk of rip currents. That's going to be our biggest concern. And then tomorrow morning, we'll wake up to temperatures in the middle 60s. Tomorrow afternoon, just slightly warmer by a couple of degrees inland. Again, low 90s. Coastal locations in the middle and upper 80s. Our high pressure builds for Saturday and Sunday, so we're hot, we're dry. Although Sunday we have just enough moisture to pop up a few isolated showers. That coverage is going to be at 10%. This is ahead of our next cold front that'll move in on Monday, quote unquote cold front, because behind that front we're only going to drop into the middle 80s for Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be watching a couple of showers as well for Monday.
All right, tensions at Columbia University escalate after school leadership testifies before Congress.
What the university's president told lawmakers about the school's hate speech policies during this war between Israel and Hamas.
911 emergency services are coming back online after city and statewide outages across the country.
NBC's Eric McLaughlin says several cities across 4 states are reporting outages this afternoon.
Right now, a volcano is erupting near Indonesia, and airports are closing and residents are leaving their homes. They're worried about spreading ash, volcanic clouds, and the possibility of a tsunami. Now, more than 11,000 people have been ordered to stay at least 4 miles away from the volcano. Eruptions last night spewed volcanic ash about 70,000 feet into the atmosphere.
Well, some baby goats in California are looking for their moms. I knew the video was going to be good. Their wobbly legs and those little goat noises.
Oh, man.
Mystery that police are trying to solve on who stole these 12 goats.
Stick around for that. You can't beat a story about goats. And this, a Boeing whistleblower testifies before Congress.
I literally saw people jumping on the pieces of the airplane to get them to align. I call it the Tarzan effect.
The new concerns raised about the company's ability to build safe planes.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Sonic.
Central Florida traffic can be brutal, but Megan Mackey is here to help you navigate it all. From mapping out your commute to monitoring changes on our roads.
Consider me your local transportation expert.
Real-time updates every morning and in-depth reporting on the transportation issues that impact our community. This is what First Warning traffic looks like with Megan Mackey. And it's here on WESH 2 News. Local, live, late breaking. Local, live, late breaking. WESH 2 News starts now.
This week, the Volusia County Sheriff's Office solved a nearly 2-year-old cold case.
Look up at the moment the suspect was arrested. Well, it's being called the largest gold heist in Canadian history.
And this afternoon, 6 of the suspected thieves are in custody, while officials say this heist is about much more than gold.
WESH 2's Community Champion features people who make Central Florida a better place to live. Nominate your Community Champion on WESH.com. And watch Community Champions Thursdays at 5 p.m. on WESH 2 News, sponsored by T-Mobile, America's largest 5G network.
Ford is recalling more than 450,000 compact SUVs and pickup trucks. The automaker says a battery issue could cause the vehicles to lose drive power. The recall impacts Ford Bronco Sport SUVs made between 2021 and 2024 and the Ford Maverick pickups made between 23 and 24. Dealerships will fix this issue for free. Impacted drivers will be notified by mail by May 13th. And
Toyota is recalling 2023 and 2024 Prius and Prius HEV vehicles. Company says water can get into the rear door latch and cause a short circuit. So if the doors are not locked, Toyota says that the door could open while the car is moving, or if there's an accident. Prius owners can take their car to the Toyota dealer to have the issue fixed for free.
Just ahead of the summer travel season, American Airlines has unveiled an onboard luxury experience.
Yes, the airline is launching its first ever rotating collection of premium onboard amenities and new bedding. Yeah, there will be new dining options as well across all domestic and international flights, and what the airline calls a flagship suite that seats a program for 300 international and top tier cabin classes. And that is rolling out on Memorial Day weekend.
I wonder how much that upgrade is going to cost.
I was just going to say, and I feel like that would have to be just for like very long flights, at least for me.
No. I mean, if my kids and I can share that one little bed, I might be able to afford it. All right, a woman saved a toddler, I should say, from drowning in a South Florida pond.
An award for her life-saving efforts will now help her follow her dreams.
WESH 2, we're dedicated to covering Volusia County.
This still remains quite an active scene.
From breaking news to the stories that impact you.
I'm Pamela Combe, and I'm committed to covering your community.
Fast, accurate reporting straight from your neighborhood. The Volusia County Bureau, only on WESH 2 News. Local, live, late breaking. Your live eye in the sky, covering breaking news in Central Florida. This is Chopper 2, and it's only on WESH 2 News. Local, live, late breaking.
Police in Canada have arrested 6 people accused of being involved in a massive gold heist last year.
Yeah, those thieves stole roughly $22.5 million in gold and cash from the Toronto Pearson International Airport. Investigators said that it was the single largest gold heist in Canada's history. Now, authorities said that the 2 airline employees placed key roles in this crime. One of them was a warehouse worker. He's since been arrested, and there's an arrest warrant that is out for another person, a manager who gave police a tour of the cargo facility after the theft before resigning from Air Canada last summer. Police believe that they melted that gold and sold it to buy guns.
This isn't just about gold. This is about how gold becomes guns. It isn't about stolen vehicles. Stolen vehicles become guns. And gold can be remade, and gold can be insured, and so can cars. But people's lives and what happens when guns are involved cannot.
All right, the accused driver in this heist is behind bars in the United States after getting arrested during a September traffic stop in Pennsylvania. Police say they found dozens of guns in his car that were headed to Canada.
Investigators are looking into how a patient stole an ambulance with paramedics inside. It happened in the Atlanta area. Deputies say Ladarius Williams stole a private ambulance from a hospital where he was being treated. They say paramedics who were in the back of the ambulance at the time jumped out as it was moving. The suspect led officers on a 10-mile chase before he was stopped.
Well, more than a dozen goats are missing from a California farm.
Yeah, both adult goats and babies were stolen, including one that had just given birth. As Michelle Guile reports, the caretakers of the animals are desperate to get them back safely.
All right, police are still looking for leads. They're hoping the public can help them, and this case is still under investigation. But those goats were so adorable, so little.
All right, let's get outside at this beautiful shot. Look at the people out there.
Everyone's
not working.
I
That's
know.
nice.
Every time I check this shot, I'm just jealous of everyone that's out there right now. And it's really a good week for the beach too, because we're going to see a lot of sunny conditions and also a lot of heat out the door right now as we take a look at New Smyrna Beach. Great shot. Just keep in mind if you do have any beach plans, we have a moderate risk of rip currents. Just a couple of clouds, but overall it is not bad. We are seeing mostly sunny conditions this afternoon. It's 79 right now in New Smyrna Beach, 80 degrees in Orlando, 79 in Kissimmee. We're at 81 degrees in Melbourne and 83 already in the Villages. And then later on this afternoon, it is a quick climb into the low 90s inland. Our coastal locations will be on the cooler side into the middle 80s, all thanks to a southerly wind picking up at 5 miles per hour. Maybe the beach, not your thing, but you're heading to our local theme parks. Good afternoon as well. It's just going to be hot. We'll top out again right around 90 degrees, even by 5 o'clock. We're only slowly falling to about 86 and then eventually 84 degrees by 7 o'clock. Clear conditions will continue into tonight. That will allow our temperatures to drop into the 60s. Then tomorrow afternoon, we're in the lower 90s inland. Couple of locations almost nearing the middle 90s, and our coastal locations will be in the middle and upper 80s. We'll still have plenty of sunshine going into tomorrow and the weekend. It is all thanks to high pressure in place. With this high pressure, Saturday's dry. Sunday, though, we have just an isolated shower or two. That is all thanks to a little bit more humidity ahead of our next cold front, which will arrive on Monday. Saturday, it's going to feel like summer with a temperature of 94 degrees. This is going to be the hottest air of the year. Sunday, still hot with a temperature of 93 degrees and an isolated rain chance. So we are set for a hot weekend ahead. On Saturday, even though we are in the middle 90s and it's going to be the hottest air so far this year, it's not record heat for Orlando. Our record is 96 degrees and our forecast high temperature is 94. So that'll be 2 degrees shy of the record. Sanford, you will also be 2 degrees shy of your record of 94 degrees from 2006. And Leesburg, you will be 1 degree shy of your record of 93 degrees from 2006. Sunday, though, Sanford, you are set to tie your record high temperature of 93 degrees. Orlando, we will be about 3 degrees shy of the record of 96, and Leesburg about 2 degrees shy of the record of 93 degrees. An isolated chance again on Sunday. Then on Monday, we're a 20% chance of rainfall as our next front swings in. Our temperatures on Monday will drop into the upper 80s, and high pressure slides in behind that Tuesday and on Wednesday, giving us plenty of sunshine and highs in the middle 80s. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
I'm Frank Nicotero, and this is a game show. I ask people questions inspired by the wildest and wackiest news stories for a chance at a cash prize. Money! Wait, what happened? Stream for free only on Very Local.
All right, thanks for joining us here at noon. We'll be back at 4 o'clock. Until then, have a great day.
Thank you for watching WESH 2 News. Get caught up on local news, originals, and more. Download the Very Local app and stream for free on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, iOS, and Android mobile devices.